Thanks for staying with us. So on this final segment, we're just going to open our phone lines to hear from Nigerians on the various stories of medical negligence, because we know this is something that many Nigerians are very familiar with. We'll just open our phone lines. You can call us on the numbers on your screen to share your own story with us. 081-0764-167-9, 090-241-63440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read the tweet. I have a caller holding. Good morning. Mrs. Badri from Yaba, you're live.
Morning.
Good morning.
I'm so sorry for taking you back. I wanted to say something about that nurse that lost his wife and his son. All these private hospitals, I don't know what the government can do. I think they should go around most of the hospitals and accredit them. Most of them, they are working with auxiliary nurses and auxiliary doctors. And the owner of the hospital, at times, most of them, they are not always on ground. I'm praying that by the grace of God and with the help of you people, to be able to give that man justice, and such occurrence will never happen again. I can see Auntie Nima. She has been so moody. In fact, I was shedding tears. My husband was with me in the sitting room. I was shedding tears because I'm also a retired nurse and a midwife. When I was listening to your story, I saw the way Auntie Nima was looking. In fact, it's a very sad news. Please, I pray, ma. Auntie Morayo Ejo, allow that man to have justice and again, so that such occurrence will never happen again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any comments on social media we have? I know that a lot of people, as I said, can relate to that story. And one of the things that hurts me the most is the fact that, you know, when things like this happen, sometimes we all just kind of we talk about it, we pray about it, and then we move on. You know, and then the man is left alone to fight. But in this case, hopefully, you can always follow up and see, ensure that he gets justice. Let's take a few comments on social media.
Yeah, Corey Michael says, this doctor should also act professionally. The consultant was aware of a complicated labor, needed his attention, but he was attending to another hospital. A lot of hospitals are basically clinics. That's from Leila.
Go ahead, Nima.
Do you know, I'm crying like a baby now. This is how my elder sister died in my hands some 40 years ago at Agege House, Ikeja. The baby survived, but we lost her. A very sad narrative.
And we also, is it safe to add the part of the Japa syndrome that many of our doctors have actually left the country? So some of these doctors they are overwhelmed. So you see one doctor shuffling 2-3 hospitals trying to see, okay, one is a heart problem, let me rush down here to, you know, I mean, it's not an excuse, but it's probably part of what has caused some of these difficulties in doctors being available, because he said he was calling the doctor was telling me, I'll come in the midnight. He called me 3 a.m. I'm coming in midnight the next day to come and to induce a pregnancy.
That for me makes sense.
That hospital should not be open. If you do not have staff, close. Simple.
Let me try and make sense of this. Yes. Most hospitals, Tokwe mentioned it, they don't have doctors. Most consultants are consulting. And what they should have done, because this was a 24 hours experience, and in 12 hours, the consultants, if it's not available, they should have backup. Every Nigerian can attest to this. You must have experienced it at one point or the other. No matter how well equipped an hospital is, one personnel not being available can cost a life. Yeah. Everybody, if you ask, at least I can say up to 50% Nigerians would have lost a family member one way or the other.
Pause you 1 second, because Ijema has been holding for you. I'll come back to you. Ijema, thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning,
Rayo and the ladies of the view, good morning. Please, hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Please, God bless you for bringing this topic today. And for that man that accident happened, I know it's a pain that you cannot say this is the depth of that pain. That man will live with that, living with that pain. I know how, because I mean, I've experienced this 3 times. It has gotten to the stage that even in my house, if somebody is dying, the person will say, let me die in the house instead of going to the hospital. I've had 3 experiences. One was with Lagoon Hospital. They killed my father. Lagoon Hospital. I took my father wanted to travel home. I lost my younger sister out of the doctor's negligence. And my father came 80-something years, and we brought him to Lagos to come and mourn with my sister, because my sister was right here. So Can you hear me?
Very clearly, madam.
Eh?
Very clearly. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So my father, we brought him to come and mourn my sister with my mother in Lagos. So all of us, because the death was too much. The press was too much. And Mariah, before you people started this program, I was mourning. So I told them, I said, Papa, you're going to, he said he wants to go home. I said, Papa, you're not going home. You stay here with us for some time. Let you know. He said he wants to go home to go and tidy some things up. A man of 80-something years. I said, okay, Daddy, you will fly, you will fly. So he was to fly with my husband to my hometown, Agege State, Umuahia. Then I now told him, my father was alive, nothing was wrong with him. I said, Papa, because you're going to travel over air, I want us to go to the hospital, let them check your BP is okay, this and that and this. But he said it's okay, that nothing is wrong. Mariah, I took my father. I said, let us go to Reddington. That is where he uses. He said he's not going, that I want to spend money. I said, okay, Papa, let us go to the hospital that we use, Lagoon Hospital. I took him to Lagoon Hospital, Papa. On reaching there, they kept us from morning till night, till very late, before the baby doctors could see us. When they saw my father, they said they now started doing the test. Only test. We went there for test. They started doing the test. They said they want to do, there's one other test that the person that is doing that test has closed by 4 o'clock or 4:30. I said, how can it be? Then bringing my father back to Oba would be very serious for him. I said, okay, you know what? They said, I told them that we are coming from afar. They said if we can, it's only if they can admit my father, just let him stay there. In the morning they will do the test. Mariah, they charged me 400,000 naira for just that day. My husband, we didn't have the cash. My husband went to the bank, even though it was late. When the bankers saw his friends, they gave him that money. We paid them. We stayed with my father till 9 o'clock. I said, please, let me sleep with my father. I was joking. My father would joke with me. We were cracking jokes. I said, Papa, you will have rest. I'm going to sleep with you. Do you know that these people, they refuse? I told them, okay, my father has not taken on doctor's report advice. He did not take his BP drug. I told them, I told them, one wicked drama, that lady was on duty. He was the one, my father's, you know the way they portion nurses. I went to them, I said, come and check my father's BP. These two people said, I will not sleep with him. Please come and check. When they checked my father's BP was high. I was worried. I said, please give him the drug because the doctor has sent the drug for him. I said, give him his drug. Let him take his drug so that we can go. That Ijoma was very jumpy, very wicked girl. She was very, very, as if she's mentally derailed. She was, very angry with me. Within a short time, they said I'm disturbing them, that we should start going, that they would administer the drug to my dad. I was very angry. I was very scared. I said, look at my father's age. I take his drug, BP, and by now he's supposed to have taken his BP drug. After 9, Murayo, till I left, they didn't. They forced me.
Oh, Ijoma, so sorry. I think we lost our call. But I'm so sorry, Ijoma. I mean, she was really in pain from her own story. I mean, as Nima said, as somebody said, that everybody has a story. We can all share stories.
I have a story. I have
never shared my story, and I don't think I'm ready to share it with my mom. It's just not time. I'm just not ready to confront that conversation yet. But the truth is that everybody has this issue of medical negligence at some point.
That's how I lost my sister. I've shared the story several times on this platform. And it was just negligence, and I just, and
it's now worse now. Most doctors are not available. It's gotten worse.
So most of the hospitals have resident doctors who are learning, who are studying. You see them moving around the general hospitals, the private hospitals. They are trying to call the consultants to, to direct what to do. The consultants are overworked, overstretched. Yeah. The cardiologists we see for my older family members have to consult round hospitals. Imagine we were seeing one at Navy Town, and when we finally decided, no, the queue was too endless, and she would not see any doctor at the end of the day. Let's change the hospital. And lo and behold, it was the consultant
doctor.
in my family hospital.
Isn't that what happened with
Do it for days.
with Rollari's father? He was at a particular hospital. They were charging too much. They now moved him to a Lagos State hospital. When the doctor came, saw him there, I said,
Take him back.
My patient, take him back. I won't treat him here. Take him back. Do you understand?
So it's the same.
That's that one. They went to, when Temidori was here, he cut his leg. I took him to this. When I even saw the hospital, I was like, And the doctor was on the phone saying, no. If you see the two, whether they are nurses, whether they are
Auxiliary.
I don't know.
They call them auxiliary nurses.
Temidori was asking, why are you hurting me? Why are you hurting me?
serious?
I carried my car. I said, no, this is just too much. Let me just carry him. It was too much. And the doctor is saying she would attend to it. Why is that hospital even allowed to be open?
So this matter is even beyond states. It's about how we handle health
System.
in this system, health system in this country. Because we allow these resident doctors, when they finally get the skill, they're not motivated to stay. They go, we're constantly retraining. But nobody's waiting.
Yeah.
I'm sad. All the comments I saw, because I tried to see if there was any positive comment, was saying to the bereaved guests to Japa, leave the country, calling the country, because we don't give premium to that sector enough. I was saved. I had Imran because I had a good consultant, and she was hands-on. She would always show up. She said, no, Nima, you stay in this hospital with me 6 months and you go home with your baby. I want to stay here with you. That's the only reason I have Imran and the grace of Allah. I don't know how else. Because she would come every week, she would see. The only time I needed her was when I finally was in labor, because I disobeyed her and went home. And so she had thought, oh, maybe she didn't want to stay. When I was rushed in, she kept on the phone with the entire team. And we have passionate doctors like that. But the health system here has to be motivating enough for the doctors to stay. Most of the hospitals, we had to move my father-in-law from a private hospital to the FMC in Yaba. We had called consultants for hours on end. We kept calling the cardiologist hours on end. How do you have a patient in coma and don't show up? We kept calling. My husband we were fighting at the hospital. Calling. If I tell him to be patient, he will say, since morning, okay, I'll pay you more. Even with the offer, he couldn't live where he was. We wait. At the end of the day, we called the ambulance and we moved my father-in-law to a government hospital. Yet, a lot of Nigerians, if you allow them, will share this story and they will have it. You should not have a woman in labor attended to by just 2 nurses. Anything can go wrong.
Yes.
In the government hospital where I had Imran, there were 9 doctors in total, 3 pediatricians, because I was a consultant case. 3 pediatricians.
Rollari wasn't even a consultant case. This was in England, where she had her first son. There were like 5 people, 3 doctors, 2 nurses. I mean, were they 6? One was gynecologist, other one was pediatrician. This one, come on.
While the truth is, a nurse, midwives can give birth,
When
there are no complications, a midwife can handle end-to-end of delivery. However, because we know with life there can be complications, that's why you have a doctor on ground. So when the hospital was saying that there was a midwife and a junior doctor, for someone who was already having complications, there was definitely negligence on the part of the hospital. And that's why I'm waiting for FEMA as well as the Ministry of Health to speak up on what is expected.
To see what FEMA expects when, are they allowed? Because she was induced 4 different times. They are putting those 2 tablets to induce labor twice. They went on and did the drip. And then they still went on, with another procedure at the end of the day. So how many times on one patient, which one, when does it count as overdose?
At what point do you do surgery?
Yes. Somebody should be monitoring all vitals. All of the vitals. Yet, sometimes we end up with cervical incompetence and all of that. I had a machine latched on me and my baby, checking my baby's fetal heartbeat so that I can have my first child. Some of us, our birth canal is not equal. It's not the same. And so to take it as a default case every time you treat
The
patients.
baby,
is
didn't you
stupid
hear
of
the
any
man, Nima?
hospital.
The man said the baby had even come out, the head had shown. The baby suffocated
And then they
now.
see what's the baby. Yes, baby suffocated within the birth canal. And she had a complicated case. What was her previous delivery like? That's why you need medical history.
Unfortunately, that's all we can take. It's a really painful situation, and hopefully this man gets justice. As we said, her FEMA is already on the case, investigated. We'll follow up with them to see what's happening, and also with the hospital to hopefully get their own side of this story. But once again, our hearts go out to Prince Tega and his entire family. With the soul of his wife and son rest in peace. That's all we can take on today's show. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.